What's going on, guys? Thank you for joining us. My name's Mike.
I'm Ed.
And I'm Ray.
And we are Nerdcore. Today we're going to be discussing 80s films. There's no doubt that the decade of film in the 80s brought some kind of unique and especially nostalgic now charm to the table. I think we can all agree that as of late, modern filmmaking try their best to try to replicate this era of film. Stranger Things, It. So the question is, what is it about 80s movies that it still holds up after so many decades later? Alright, so Ray, let's start with you. Why do 80s movies hold such a special place in your heart?
I think for me, 80s movies really stuck out to me because of the music. There's nothing like, come on, 80s montage music. It had this upbeat, fun vibe to it. 80s music always utilizes the synth. Blade Runner had one of the coolest soundtracks of all time, and it totally made that movie, at least for me. Beverly Hills Cop theme, hello.
I think one of the interesting things is that how the sound visualizes that look too.
Something about her look or his look matches that sound, or that beat that's happening.
You hear that synthesizer, like that exact kind of sound, and you immediately are brought back to the 80s. The thing that you said too is how the fun. When you heard an 80s montage with that fun kind of music, I was having a good time.
Oh yeah, there was something so special in that.
It's just happy, right?
Yeah, it was. So Ed, what about you? What stuck out in the 80s for you?
Definitely it's the weird, wacky, odd, strange ass movies that came from the 80s. It was awesome. Movies that you will never see replicated today. You have your badass movies, like you said, Blade Runner, and then you have your weird movies. And I think one of the weirdest movies, Teen Wolf. What gets weirder than a movie about a regular boy in school, regular life, and then he finds out that he's a werewolf. Normally, you'd expect he'd murder everyone
Pretty
that
horrific,
comes in contact
but
with
it was like, what was he like celebrated in it or whatever?
Oh, they loved him.
He was just accepted. Like, throw the werewolf on the basketball team.
He's dunking and stuff like that. He was beating, and for some reason, it was still okay for him to play.
Yeah.
Just I don't know why.
Yeah.
There's no rule against werewolves playing basketball.
Could never be done today.
No,
sure.
But that movie is gold. It's and that's a fun movie. And I think a big thing about that would be, and this you get the 80s actors, Michael J. Fox.
Oh yeah.
He is the 80s.
Weekend at Bernie's.
Oh man.
Like what? Like when they wrote that script, it's like I'm gonna make a movie about this horrible boss. You know, he's gonna end up dying, and then we're gonna just pose him up the entire movie, make him move around, so people don't get the idea that he's dead, and everyone's gonna believe it.
Yeah.
We're gonna put some sunglasses on him. You know what I mean? He's just gonna.
I'm not sure if that would fly today. Actually, what was that one movie, Mike, that kind of did it pretty good? It was a really good movie with Elijah Wood.
Swiss Army Man.
Yeah, but he was just alone with the guy, you know.
His boner's like guiding the way to
That's
what
I mean.
That is super.
It kind of it has that
abstract.
same vibe
as
the 80s.
For sure.
I love that movie.
It's funny. Like I would love for someone to make like a fucking like dark version of Weekend at Bernie's,
like,
where this guy's like starting to decay, but like they're trying to like slow down like the decay process.
What about the smell? You
That's
know?
true.
He didn't smell at all?
Yeah, they clearly didn't think of the smell.
No, they didn't think of the smell.
Idiots.
But they liked him so much that I'm pretty sure he got laid in that movie.
No way.
In the second one, I think he got, I don't know, the girl, she was probably rubbed or something.
Would not put it past me.
No, rigor mortis. He was able to do that shit. I don't know how long rigor mortis lasts for.
Christ.
So, Mike, what about you? What makes 80s movies so special and unique to you?
While I enjoy the whole decade's filmography, horror movies definitely stuck out the most for me. Friday the 13th defined that slasher genre.
Sure.
But no, Freddy Krueger, 84, Hellraiser. Leatherface was right on the brink of the 80s, but it was in the 70s. You want to know what 80s horror movies? They told their story and they didn't take themselves too seriously.
Yeah.
They definitely had that line where it was like, there's nothing as charming as like 80s horror movie humor. I mean,
Return of the Living Dead. Return of the Living Dead. Perfect example.
And you watch it now,
that.
it borders on like mainly a comedy, but
I can watch that movie
but it's okay,
over and over.
But it's okay because it's still horrifying. The music that went with these horror films, like Nightmare on Elm Street, killer fucking theme song.
Mm-hmm. True.
Friday the 13th, killer theme song.
The music that they had, they have to go. They go hand in hand with it. They are just important as the character.
Well, it's also prime time when the synthesizer was really coming out, and it was good for those type of characters because it was this new creepy sound. You know, you could make sounds that the regular traditional instruments could never make before.
That synth 80s sound that still holds up today, and
And is used.
And is used today. Everyone's trying to recreate. And honestly, I gotta be honest, I never get sick and tired of hearing it.
Me either.
I fucking never get sick and tired of hearing it.
Yeah.
Boom, 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 boom,
Well, so a few examples of today of movies that have done it. I mean, Mike, what's one of your favorites?
I probably am gonna say Stranger Things.
Unbelievable soundtrack, dude.
Just recently picked this up on vinyl. It's fucking awesome.
And now that we're on the topic of Stranger Things, I mean, you got to think that is the huge compilation of everything of the 80s.
Yeah,
I mean,
true.
First of all, it has the horror, and then it also has the Spielberg. You can't really say 80s without saying Spielberg.
No.
But it really kind of has everything that the 80s kid in me wants to see now.
Yeah, it completely embodies that.
And I think the thing that's different from 80s movies that are like movies that are made today that are supposed to represent the 80s is that I genuinely feel like this could have been made in the 80s.
Yeah.
It feels authentic.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's one of my favorite movies in the 80s was The Monster Squad.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Ooh.
along with like the Goonies, and that it's that kid camaraderie that we haven't seen in such a long time. I don't think we've really seen
Done
it.
correctly.
We haven't seen it done correctly. I think since the 80s. I think that's what inspired the style for it.
But
Because they definitely got
yeah.
that shit down in it.
You want to know what I think it is? And I think it's something as small as kids cursing at each other.
Fuck yeah.
I love that they keep incorporating different things. Now, while in season 2, that one particular episode was not my favorite episode, I'm sure you all know what I'm talking about.
Episode 7.
Episode 7.
Where she goes to Chicago.
Right, but...
I loved it.
Yeah, you did. Had it been done differently, I love how they're bringing in the psychic, the telepathy type thing.
That's why I loved it. I got vibes of an 80s styled X-Men movie.
I felt super. It was the anime Akira. Stranger Things kind of has everything about the 80s. And this is something that I really feel very strongly about with the 80s. It feels like everyone, filmmakers and creators, were allowed to express themselves much more than they are today.
Yeah.
And that's again, Hollywood just wants to they want to bang these movies out. They want to make the buck as fast as possible.
Yeah.
And you're not getting these interesting ideas. And when
Yeah.
you do, they're done so horribly. They're crap. And they're
Yeah.
remakes half the goddamn time.
Yeah.
You wouldn't see, okay, Ghostbusters. That shit would not be happening
No,
today.
they would never.
Gremlins was a crazy ass movie.
The Gate.
The Gate, yeah.
They're never gonna capture that feeling in the 80s because it's not the 80s.
No.
So no matter what,
I mean,
they're not gonna
can
get
come
that.
close, though.
I know, but they're gonna get as close where it's just paying homage and you're gonna appreciate it.
Here's a big thing about the 80s. You never get like the Macho Man stuff in the 80s. Like every dude, the action movies, if you were the leading guy, like Schwarzenegger,
Oh, those
True.
thing about
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that
so
douche
Stallone.
down by the lake.
You
Like,
were
let's
always-
go for a swim, babe.
No, but those guys were very big in those movies.
Let's go for a fucking
Shout out to
swim, man.
those fucking guys.
Fuck off.
Love you, man.
That 80s action hero.
Yeah. Like
Stallone.
now it's just The Rock.
Oh my god, but it's
In every movie.
soulless
Yeah.
bullshit. But look at fucking like Predator in the 80s.
Well, I mean,
Oh,
never-
Predator's
never-
the best.
then
We gotta
again,
get a
yeah,
scene
but-
of the high five in Predator when they do both
Oh.
like, and you hear like a boa constrictor as like the
Yeah. You're never gonna see fucking The
Skin
Rock
stretching.
Yeah.
You're never gonna see
oily.
some- You're never.
Quiet.
Crickets.
Sorry, again.
Right now I'm hearing "Hello, Darkness." My friend."
You don't wait for us to finish our laugh stuff.
So at the end of the day, I'm pretty excited about this new trend in the film industry. You know, recreating the '80s. I know that's my absolute favorite decade of films, just because, like I said, the charm that it brought,
The
For sure.
oddness, the
the
strangeness.
freedom to do whatever you wanted creatively. So respect to everyone out there who's kind of trying to bring that back.
And huge inspiration for us. Nerdcore is
Yeah,
heavily
yeah.
inspired
Oh my God,
by
for
that
sure.
stuff.
And honestly, I hope that it doesn't stop. I hope that they keep with the right director. I think that
For sure.
That
It
they
can be done. It can be
done.
replicated.
We've seen it a couple times.
We look forward to seeing
Yeah,
more.
we look forward to seeing some more shit.
Keep it up, guys, and we'll also keep it up on our
Yeah.
ends.
So yeah, like the video, drop a comment below. Let us know what you think. Tell us your favorite '80s movie,
Please subscribe.
and subscribe, please. Guys, I'm Mike.
I'm Ray.
And I'm Ed. We're Nerdcore.